So in this video, we'll be doing a quick short-term review of the iPhone 15, and this is the basic version with 128 GB. Without further delays, let's get into the video. And I've been using Android for a really long time. Let's say for about 15 plus years, I've been using Android, and I suddenly switched to iPhone. And if you remember in my previous videos, I've always said that iPhone is something which is not worth buying because there are a lot of limitations to this particular device. In Android, you will be having a little bit more freedom. Unfortunately, in iPhone, we don't get that freedom. And the reason why I suddenly had to switch to iPhone is a bit comical. The basic reason is being that I recently got gifted with an Apple Watch, and I was thinking that Apple Watch would be compatible with the iPad, or maybe it would connect with the MacBook. But unfortunately, as soon as you unbox the Apple Watch and try to connect it, first option it would display is that to connect to an iPhone, and none of the other devices like the iPad or the MacBook would work in this particular stage, and you will definitely require an iPhone to connect to it. And definitely if you have an iPhone within your family, you can connect it to the family network, but unfortunately none of my parents or my other relatives that are close to me had an iPhone. So typically this was my cue to switch to an iPhone, and that is the basic reason why I had to switch to iPhone at an unplanned stage. However, there are a lot of positives as well as negatives connected to the iPhone, and that is the reason why I thought of doing this video. So out of the box, you'll be getting a charging cable. This is a braided cable of much higher quality, and if you remember in the last video, the charging cable which I got along with the iPad 9th generation was very poor quality, but this is much better. And as you all know, iPhone or Apple does not provide the charging adapter along with their iPhones. That is so unfortunate, but luckily I did get the adapter along with my iPad 9th generation, and this is a 20-watt adapter, and this still works with the iPhone 15. So if you have this lying around, definitely you can use this to charge your iPhone 15. And basically, I bought this iPhone from the store. I did not have the confidence to buy it from Flipkart or Amazon, basically because the price of this product is so high. And now since they have removed the direct return or replacement option, and there's only service and a replacement available in Flipkart and Amazon, I was not that much confident to buy it from Amazon, Flipkart directly. So I thought of going to a physical store to buy it. And the first thing which I did after buying this is that I applied a tempered glass as well as a back case to this particular device, and I'll be showing you guys the brand which I used. This is typically optional. I bought the same thing from the physical store which I went to, so this is definitely optional. If you prefer, you can select the same brand, or you can select something which you prefer more. And this is a bit expensive, so that is the reason why I'm not recommending it on a larger scale. So if you like it, definitely you can use it. Otherwise you can go with the brand which you're comfortable to. So this was the case that this is the cover of the case which I bought, and the company's name is GAD Pro, and it's something which I'm not familiar with, but it's definitely expensive. And the tempered glass which I used came from this particular brand, and this is the most expensive tempered glass that I've used. So the reason why I thought of showing this particular case to you guys is basically because this is something which I've never seen before for any tempered glass. It's really hard to, yeah. Okay, so this is actually a pretty premium tempered glass. So this is the first time I'm seeing such kind of a premium tempered glass option. And it's also expensive. Okay, so I'm not recommending you guys to buy it, but definitely this is an option which you can prefer if you are wanting a premium tempered glass for your iPhone. So I did not want to compromise on safety. That's the reason why I thought of buying it. But definitely there will be other options also out there. So based on your interest or preference, you can maybe select it. But anyways, this particular case or the cover of this particular tempered glass actually was pretty interesting. So I thought of showing it to you guys. So this the name of the company probably is King Kong Glass. I'm not entirely sure. And these are its features. And as I said, this is expensive, so I'm not recommending to buy this one, but this is something which you can maybe check it out when you go to a physical store if it's available. So basically that is the first thing which I did when I after purchasing my iPhone. And this particular iPhone comes with the Type C. Even the charging cable is C to C. Coming to the iPhone, the first and foremost negative that I need to speak about is regarding the refresh rate. So this comes with a 60 hertz refresh rate. We know that most of the Android devices out there has 90 hertz or 120 hertz refresh rate, and Apple does not provide that so far. Even with the latest 16, they does not have that option. It still comes with 60 hertz. But basically for me, it's not a big issue because I've been using 120 hertz on my Android, but I did not observe much difference here between this and that. But anyways, for some people definitely it might be an issue. So we are it's a premium category of phones, and we are paying such a huge money for it, and they still don't provide that. It's definitely a negative. That's the first thing. And next thing is that there is some kind of yeah, definitely the UI is smooth and everything, but compared to Android, I think it's more simpler in Androids compared to iPhones, because whatever option that there is definitely a way to do everything, but it's not a straight way. For Android, we can directly do it with some shortcuts and stuff like that. But for for Apple, what I felt is even though there is something which we can do or an alternative way to do, we have to take a different route which involves more steps, which involves more procedures in that kind of a way, which makes it a little bit more time consuming. When we want we want things to be get done quickly. In Android, it's much more simpler. Even though the UI is a little bit not as smooth as Apple, things are getting done in a much lesser time in Android. That is basically the observation which I got as soon as I used it, because any kind of an app which you want to install, there will be some kind of this thing which you need to take an extra time to do that, or maybe you have to pull it through. It's not that simple in Apple. So that is something which it almost felt like that I can't use this phone alone. I needed a Android phone along with this in order for my experience to be more smooth. Definitely there are a lot of things which iPhone can do that I'm not stating wrong, but I did feel like I still needed an Android phone along with this in order to for my experience to be a little bit more smoother. Now let's talk about Dynamic Island. Yeah, from the outside point of view, it was a big kind of a deal, and it was one of the biggest selling points of this phone. But basically, I feel it's some sort of a gimmick. It's not that much useful. Yeah, definitely there are some good things to it. But when you play a song on Spotify, this thing will come on the top, and you will be able to access it quickly like this on clicking. Similarly, I think you can use stopwatch and stuff like that, and this thing will go to the Dynamic Island. But it's a big distraction, especially if you watch videos on YouTube or any other videos like that. It is it will be there along with the video, and that portion of the screen will be missing, and it is a bit of a distraction, and which is something which I don't like that much, because I was using the OnePlus 9RT and my viewing experience was better there. But this thing is definitely a bit of a distraction. I hope Apple in the 16 is definitely there. Maybe in the coming newer versions of iPhone, I hope that is resolved, because it's nothing here. It's bit of a gimmick, at least for the purpose of using. I did not feel that much. It's not that much useful. You could manage it without this. So I'm gonna like play a video of Avengers in game from YouTube, and I'll talk about the quality of the video after this. On your left. So basically, as you can see, this is a bit of a distraction. However, the quality of the video is so amazing because even I'm not talking about the viewing experience, but the quality of the video that is displayed on the iPhone is much great. I think it's mostly there for almost all of the other Apple products. Even for my iPad, the quality of the video was so amazing. Now, what else is there? Yeah, definitely the camera. I'm not going to talk about that much. The camera is the best thing on the phone, and it is something which is the main selling point as well, because the camera is so amazing. Both the front as well as the back camera is amazing. The video is amazing. The photos are amazing, and that is one of the biggest reason to buy an iPhone for. Another thing which I noticed like recently when I was using this phone is regarding the screen mirroring option. So I was thinking that it is hard to like screen mirror my iPhone onto my TV, but now I realize that it is not a difficult task. It's easy. You just have to click on this particular option over here. As soon as you does that, if your TV has like AirPlay, my TV is like Samsung and it did have AirPlay installed, and it will display the TV's name over there. So you just have to connect it to that, and it will like show some codes to pair, and you just have to like select it, and your TV will get paired. Similarly, it's easy also to mirror your iPhone onto your Mac. It's like much easier that way. So talking about the charging, definitely charging is much worse. There is no fast charging on the iPhone, and it definitely takes a long time to like charge, and the battery draining is also high. All that said, I'm not generally referring to iPhones as a bad product. The only thing which I'm worried about is regarding the price. For this price, I'm not sure whether if this is worth it or not. And if you ask me who should buy an iPhone, especially an iPhone 15 or an iPhone 16 at this stage, is because like there are like different categories of people. Like there will be people who are currently using iPhones and are planning to upgrade to a latest model or a better model. So those people, like if you're using iPhone 11, 12, in that sense, if you're like planning to upgrade it, I would ask you guys, if you have the money, go buy iPhone 16, basically because it will come with Apple Intelligence, which is better. And if you do not have that much budget range, definitely you can go with iPhone 15, because Apple Intelligence is not there, but a lot of other features, and it comes with USB-C, which is actually highly beneficial. So if you have like very older models like 11, 12 like that, you can like even upgrade to iPhone 15 or 16 based on your money capacity. And if you're using iPhone 13, 14 like that, I would not ask you guys to upgrade to iPhone 15 or 16, basically because that USB-C is there and Apple Intelligence is there probably, and that is it. I don't feel like much of a difference. So I bought this basically because I had a whole ecosystem setup with a lot of Apple products. So iPhone works best in an ecosystem, and if you're buying it individually, definitely then you will have to like do a lot of research on your own, especially if you're switching from Android to iPhone. Then there is a lot of research required, because most of the time it might not be as beneficial to you as you like when you see videos or reviews. You'll feel like, yeah, this is worth it, but definitely once you switch over, you might miss out on a few things. So basically do your research properly, and then if you are like satisfied with that, then only purchase iPhone. If you are updating it, then it should be fine, because already you are familiar with the environment, you know what all things it can happen, you can do with an iPhone, then definitely you can. So basically this is it. I know I haven't covered the entire thing in this video, basically because I've been using it for only 2 weeks, so I'm still learning about this particular device. So maybe after some time we'll be doing a full scale review, and in that I'll share my detailed experience with this particular iPhone, and probably by that time iPhone 16 will also be available, and maybe after that we'll be doing a quick review as to whether this one, that is iPhone 15, is better than 16 or not. Once the iPhone 16 comes, we'll know more details regarding that. And basically my preference at this stage is that iPhone 15 is enough, because Apple Intelligence, I am not that much convinced that you should be spending extra bucks there. And by the time this thing launches and it is becoming available, mostly the price of iPhone 15 will also be reduced drastically, and it's a better time to like buy iPhone 15. So that's it, and thank you all for watching, and let's see you on the next video.